Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Diana and today I'm continuing the North Node series. I'm going to be talking about the North Node in Gemini, or if you have the North Node in the third house. Excuse if you hear background noises. I have my 6-month-old baby here who likes to talk up a storm even though I don't know what he's saying. And then I have my dog, of course, that is a Boston Terrier, and they're cute, but their cute little noses don't allow them to breathe well, so they snore and act like they're having anxiety attacks in their sleep. So before we get started, I would like to remind you guys that I am now offering birth chart and relationship readings. So if you have somebody's birthday coming up, or if you want to purchase a reading for yourself and your partner and kind of see where you guys are at, you can go to my website, oneloveastrology.com. Before I get into the specifics of the Gemini North Node and the North Node in the third house, I'm gonna just discuss briefly what the North Node and the South Node mean according to astrology. Life purpose, your mission, what your soul is constantly after for you to feel complete. The North Node is really hard to master in this life because it's very uncomfortable and it's not what you're used to. You're used to your South Node. When things get hard, you go to your South Node. You don't tend to go to your North Node unless it's after your Saturn return, because that's when Saturn had already put them through trials and tribulations. Your South Node is your past life. In this life, even though your South Node may be more comfortable, you will actually experience a more soulful life if you act on your North Node tendencies. You have to master your North Node. So life's gonna put you through tests that relate to your North Node, and it's up to you how you decide to respond to those tests. So if you have, let's start with like the South Node, because let's talk about a little bit where you came from and what you're kind of used to doing and what comes easily to you in this life. So, and in your past life, you could have been a philosopher, you could have been a priest, you could have been somebody really high up there in any religion, and you could have also been an adventurer, an explorer, somebody who hiked the highest mountains in attempt to achieve some spiritual revelation. Person that had all the answers. You're very connected to the universe, we're very connected to spirituality, are used to having all of the answers from your past life. You weren't really a social butterfly in your past life. You were somebody who was kind of like a loner, figuring out what life was all about without necessarily mixing with a variety of people. If you did know people, it would have been people on your same wavelength that believed in the same things you did. Your past life, you were free. You did not want to be tied down. You wanted to explore everything on your own. So that was you in your past life. You were on the mountaintops, you were alone, you were meditating, you were taking in all the universal vibrations, making sense of them, very optimistic. You looked at the big picture all the time. And then in this life, you're now trying to understand how to be more like a Gemini, which is very hard for you because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is about details. It's about classification, organization, looking at the smaller things. It's about communicating with and being social with other people, not necessarily and actually a variety of people, not necessarily the people that follow your same religion or that have your same philosophies. So in this life, it's important, well, your overall purpose in this life actually is to master communication and to learn from other people. In the past life, you may have been a teacher and you may have been very selective of who you taught things, like I said, people of your same philosophies. But in this life, it's going to benefit you to talk to people with different ideologies than you. It's gonna actually help you find the answers that you're looking for. you're not going to be a person in this world that has all the answers, even though you might feel like it. In fact, it makes you very uncomfortable when you're put in a situation where you doubt yourself, where, you know, people ask you something that you don't know. But in this life, it's okay to not know, and it's okay. And you're probably going to find that, you know, when somebody asks you something, you get conflicting messages, you get two alternatives. It's your mind works on a duality. I hate that to people. It's okay that you don't have a definite answer, and you're not supposed to be really giving the answers in this life. You're supposed to be asking the questions. You're supposed to be a curious person. Talk to people, learn about them. Don't necessarily tell them the stories about you. And that's the problem. You guys get carried away. If you're in a conversation with somebody and they turn the tables towards you, it's very likely that you guys get carried away and you talk about your grandiose stories about how you guys were the hero in some way and what you did in your life and what you've learned from it. That kind of pushes people away. Like I said, this life, it's going to be your goal to master communication. And in order for you to master communication, God isn't going to send you, I guess, the easiest people to communicate with. God's going to send you some challenges that are going to make you uncomfortable so that you learn how to communicate correctly with people. And God is not going to send you people with the same ideas as you. You're probably, say that you're really Christian in this life, God is probably going to keep sending you people who are Jewish or Muslim or Buddhists. And I feel like you're gonna try to, you're the type of person that's gonna try to shove your ideologies down other people's throat. You're gonna feel very alone, and maybe in your past life you were comfortable with being alone and understanding life from your own perspective, but in this life you really will feel more fulfilled if you are able to adapt other people's perspectives into your ideologies and understand that. I wanted to discuss, so as far as ideologies, I know that I talked a lot about religion, and yes, it's very possible that a Gemini North Node person is kind of stuck to a specific religion, but at the same time, it has to do a lot with just philosophies, morals, and the law. So a lot of the times, Gemini North nodes are in search of the truth, and they love honesty and truthful people. So when they think that somebody is lying or is not behaving in a moral, correct way, they get really butthurt, and that's when they decide to put in their 2 cents into situations that they really know nothing about. They're good at assuming and using their intuition, but what they have to realize is that's not going to work in this life. Asking questions to get to roots will work about other people, but not assuming. And also they have to be very careful of not being self-righteous. So if they catch somebody stealing, or if they catch somebody cheating, in their heart they know that for them that's not right and it's not following their morals, they just have to let that person do what they want and follow their own path, even though it doesn't go with what their morals are. No, everybody's on a different path, and they have to really understand that. And if people lie to them, they really have to work on communicating how that lie that they did to them made them feel. So if they're in relationships with people and they're not honest with them, they can't go to an extreme and just break up with them and go on their way on their path towards freedom. They have to really verbalize and communicate why the lying hurts so much, so that they can grow in their communication within relationships. Now, of course, with a Gemini North Node, Sagittarius South Node, there is this thirst for freedom in relationships. So the Sagittarius South Node, in your past life, you wouldn't have really wanted to be tied down with the relationships, but in this life, it does serve you to have a variety of relationships, and you really can't be in a relationship that ties you down completely. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not supposed to be faithful. It just means that you have to be in a relationship where you're constantly able to socialize and create mental connections with a variety of people. Because that's gonna help you grow. You can't really just be with the same person, because you're likely gonna pick a person that has your same ideologies, because that's what you're comfortable with. So you're either gonna have to pick somebody who's completely different than you, and both of you guys need to learn how to respect your philosophical, moral differences, or you're gonna have to pick a person who is okay with you talking to different types of people, connecting, somebody who doesn't inhibit your mental connections with a variety of people. And actually that's the really cool thing about the Gemini North Node. You have the ability to connect with all types of people. You have the ability to connect with the rock stars. You have the ability to connect with the weirdos. You have the ability to connect with the astrologers. You have the ability to connect with the businessmen and women of the world. Like, so many different type of people you're able to, once you put down your guard of, you think you know it all, and you have to shove your ideas down their throat, you're able to learn so much from so many aspects of people, and you're really able to master navigating this social realm and become a really cool social butterfly. So the other thing that I would recommend for Gemini North Nodes is, because in your past life you had so much optimism which worked for you then, this life having too much blind optimism is not going to work for you guys. So it's important that you guys try to be more detail oriented and try to be more observant in the actions of people and how people work, and study their body language before putting your complete trust in somebody, because that's ultimately going to end up being really disappointing to you and put more challenges in your communication. Because if you notice that somebody is not who you thought they were, then you're gonna automatically want to, in a way, fix them by giving them philosophical advice on how they can become better people. And they're just not gonna really wanna hear it, because that's not really what they were trying to put out when they initially met you. You just took it that way because of your blind optimism. So it's important to really be calculative and really observe people before you think that they're the nicest, most positive people around. So just to sum it all up, Gemini North Nodes in this house, it's okay to have multiple options and multiple thoughts going on in your head. It's okay not to have the answers, and please be curious, ask all the questions, learn about other people to expand your book of knowledge in this life. And if you're gonna give somebody advice, give it out of love, not because you want them to conform to your high ideals and philosophies. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.